Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. It's me, Mr. Card Economist. We're doing a long form video where we might talk for 30 minutes. Maybe it'll be longer than that, hopefully not, but you know how I am. I tend to ramble. Ooh, I like to ramble. Today we're talking about my top 10 predictions for 2025. I'm so smart, I can tell you I've got a crystal ball. I can tell you exactly what to do next. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit the likes button and subscribe. By the way, you can watch this video on fast forward. Did you know that? So we talk about a lot of things, and you can squeeze that into a smaller period of time if you fast forward. Question number 1. When will the Pokemon bull market end? Never! Did it ever end? Man, I remember how crazy it was back with Logan Paul. That seems so long ago. Can you believe it's been 6 years? I'm an old man now. And look at my hair. It's going away. I'm losing hair. Come back, hair. Come back. So, the bull market, yeah, so Pokemon did kind of crash, didn't it? It crashed around the time that Scarlet Violet came out, and we all found out Scarlet Violet was not that good. Okay, they started releasing sets where you genuinely didn't have anything to chase after. And then even in the good sets, like Obsidian Flame, where, you know, it's a Charizard set, and you're a normie Charizard collector, even in that set, you just pulled it too easy. But, you know, when you look at Charizard now, the boxes have gone up to like $150 a box or something like that. I heard they've jumped almost like $35 a box. That's pretty good. You know, if you look at it from a percentage perspective. That's like a tongue twister. So when will the bull market end? Did it ever end? We were always kind of in this crazy market where cards just went... Pokemon's kind of complicated because what goes on is some cards are really overpriced and you buy too much of it and then it doesn't do anything. And you think, we're in a bear market, oh no! But then you have Pokemon cards that really you did overpay for, maybe like really expensive Charizards, and those did crash a little bit. But all what you're seeing is the hype's coming back because this is the end of year 3, 2024, and now we're in the best year, 2025. Pokemon seems to have this pattern where the best Pokemon cards, I'll be coughing a lot, the best Pokemon cards come out in the last year of that generation. Okay, we saw it with Sword and Shield, we saw it with Sun and Moon. I would argue it looks exactly like that in X and Y. If you study these Pokemon card sets, like that's my job, I study them. All the best cards come out in the final year. So if 2025 is the last year of Scarlet Violet and then we get some new thing, they'll probably announce a new Pokemon game, they'll probably announce a new Switch console, Gen 10 or whatever it is now. We're probably going to get some crazy sets this year. We know we're getting the gym set. We know we're getting the, which they've already shown some pictures of that already. We're getting a Rocket set eventually. I'm going to buy so much of the Rocket set. I love Rocket. So Rocket Returns, by the way, we got lots of Rocket Returns, and we've got Rocket First Edition. Those are fantastic. But when will the bull market end? When was it ever not a bull market is my question for you. Like vintage. When could you ever just go buy any good vintage box? Yeah, you could go, you know, like Clay Burst or whatever that stupid set is called. There's all these bad sets from the Scarlet Violet era. They're not all bad. Like 151 was very good, wasn't it? Was that a bear market? When you couldn't buy 151 without it being the price up there until they reprinted it to the to death. So when were we not in a bull market is my question. And the question, when will it end? The answer is never. We love opening up booster packs, RNG packs. They got surprise mechanics. Yes, aka gambling. It's very fun. We all love it, and I like it. All right, but yes, so we live in an attention economy. If you have the right Pokemon cards, you're cool. If you have the wrong Pokemon card, you're lame. So please keep buying Pokemon cards. And that is a big deal. The attention economy is the most important thing in 2025, and it continues to be that way. It was that way already in 2024. Whoever has the attention, they get to make political influences. They get to make financial influences. They get to sell whatever they want to sell. It's very important to have attention. Okay. It's like the Lord of the Rings, you know? The one ring, super powerful. Well, in the real world, if you have the right items in your collection, could be sports, could be, I don't know, My Little Pony. If you have the right items, all those people look at you. Question number 2. I wrote these questions up. We should do in our Discord server, where we have like a nice little giveaway and we have slabs for sale in our Discord server. We should have a channel open where we do a questionnaire and ask me anything, and then I answer it in a video. I haven't done that in so long. Number 2, will Pokemon do better than crypto? Ready for this? Some Pokemon cards, but not all Pokemon cards will beat crypto. Isn't that a terrible answer? Such a bad answer. Now, here is a note I add, especially if you add the Pokemon card earnings in from ad revenue. So a lot of people don't think about it that way, right? If you buy Charizard and he goes from $100 to $150, he's gone up 50%. Yeah, he's gone up 50%, right? That's a pretty good return. Excuse me. But then also, if you're showing this Charizard off on social media and you're like me getting some money for that, you know, you have to include that as well. He didn't just go up by 150. You might have also collected $20 of ad revenue. Now he's 170. So some crypto guys do make money off of crypto videos as well. So I guess that would be the counter argument to that. But Pokemon especially is meant to be shown off. You show people your cards. So, but I guess not everyone's monetizing their Pokemon cards. But yeah, I would say, you know, here's what stands out to me about crypto. So with crypto, when you talk about crypto as an asset, it's got this scary thing where it can drop really hard. Okay, so crypto's got the, you know, really high highs and really bad lows too. And you don't know where you're buying. On this roller coaster, you don't know if you're buying at the peak or if you're buying at the bottom. And it's so hard to tell with crypto. Really hard, because a lot of crypto is just feelings a little bit, maybe trends. The stock market's more, okay, what did the, you know, Federal Reserve do? How's the economy looking, and how much money is being reported as profits? So the profit reportings is really important. I don't think you get something like that from crypto so much. So crypto, I feel, is more speculative than the you know, buying Walmart stock. I think everyone would agree with me on that. And you don't buy Bitcoin because you think you're going to get a steady 7% return year over year. You buy it because you're hoping it goes to the moon, right? Well, so with crypto, it says here, with crypto, you can actually lose a lot of money very fast, like hawk to a coin. So that is the downside of crypto. Some crypto will do better than Pokemon. Some Pokemon will do better than crypto. Number 3, will Pokemon do better than gold? Ooh, gold. Ooh, yeah. Probably. So my prediction is don't buy gold. Gold sucks. It rose only by 30%. 30%, by the way, was a big number for gold. 30%. Reddit's up like 300%. Nvidia did something similar. The stock market is doing so much better than gold. And especially if you pick the good stocks, but you know, who can do that every time? But yeah, I mean, gold has had a great year, but if you look at it over a long period of time, like 10 years, not as good. So gold has had one very good year. And I think one of the reasons gold was having such a good year is all this fear around the BRICS currency and just the instability in the world. It's like, maybe I just want to go buy some gold, right? And maybe there's also a prediction that there'll be more inflation. But, you know, there's other things you can buy during an inflationary period, like Pokemon cards. But, you know, like real estate or something. Oh, real estate should have been one of the questions. I didn't do that. So I say gold wins if there's a collapse in the monetary system. At that point, it will shoot up in value to astronomical amounts. So really, if you're gambling on the gold, sure, gold went up 30%, but the real bet is some sort of collapse in the value of the dollar. And so if people lose faith in the dollars, all of a sudden, crypto might come into play, Gold will definitely come into play. We saw this happen once before in 2008. I saw that. I was live back then. That tells you how old I am. And it could happen again if we have another scenario like 2008, which the gold guys are betting on. Okay. It's very pretty, but probably the worst asset class unless that collapse happens. So that's my summary on gold. If you don't think there's going to be a monetary collapse, you might not want to buy gold. Number 4, will Pokemon do better than the stock market? Okay, here's my answer. The stock market is being driven by new inventions like AI, self-driving cars, and it could be ChatGPT, and it could be in a 90s.com style bubble. If you're not from the 90s, what happened was the internet was a new thing, and there were all these websites popping up, and then they would run off to the stock market and say, quick, buy into our company because we're stinkypoopy.com and we're going to go to the moon. And so there's a little bit of that going on with AI. Like NVIDIA valuation is just so sky high, and the idea that nothing could disrupt that could be wrong. But, you know, AI's got a lot of stuff to do, I assume. There's a lot of coding left to do. There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of processing power you need for AI, essentially, because of what it's doing, like all the data gathering. So I don't know. It could be in a 90s.com style bubble. It says it's a very good place to park your money for passive income. So it's very different from Pokemon, right? Like Pokemon, you have to sit down and work on. If you're grading cards, you have to work on that. If you're selling if you buy cards, you have to sell them to get your money out. That's work. Stocks are not work. You just put your money into the stocks and you're done. So they're truly passive, even more passive than like real estate, for example. I own a piece of real estate and it's annoying to have to manage it. So Pokemon's not truly passive income, but the stock market is. And as for it going up or down, right here it says, another nice thing about the stock market is that unlike your Pokemon cards, your stocks are not going to be lost in a natural disaster. So if you're like me and you put too much of your money into Pokemon cards, you have a risk of like a tornado ripping through and losing some of your stuff that way. That doesn't happen with the stock market. That makes stocks pretty, you have to consider them. But here, if your portfolio is only returning 7%, some people only get about 7% a year in the stock market, maybe up to 10% a year in the stock market. And that's considered a good return, 10% is. I said, if your portfolio gets you a 10% return, Pokemon generally beats that. Pokemon's more speculative than the stock market by a lot. So it's kind of like there's opportunities in there that's similar to taking candy from a baby. Not so much in the stock market. A lot of smart guys with nice fancy degrees and institutional money making very planned, very strategically thought out decisions, and lots of people on the inside who know each other and they know what's happening next, very informed. Not us. We're just regular. We're called retail investors. We're just regular people who buy stocks. So, Pokemon versus the stock market, I would expect Pokemon to do better than 10%, especially if you buy the right Pokemon cards and get them making money on the social medias. At 10%, Pokemon can beat that, but it requires more work. It's not passive, and you could lose your money. So will Pokemon beat the stock market in 2025? My prediction is yes. Will it beat crypto? Some crypto. Crypto can have some phenomenal returns. And some cryptos can go like the Haktua coin. Haktua, spit on that thing. And then we've got, will Pokemon beat gold? Probably. So there you go. We're getting some questions done. What Pokemon card lost me the most money? Okay, so this is kind of like informative, but it will also help you make a prediction. So my biggest loss might have been in one set called Shiny Treasures, where the Japanese product was way overpriced, and then the price and the demand collapsed. Okay, so why does this matter? Because we have like Terastal Festival, it's doing very well. Something like that could occur, or maybe the set right after Terastal Festival. See, there's this kind of thing that happens with Pokemon where when everyone gets on to sort of like a greedy high, if you want to think of Pokemon cards as something you get high off of, maybe I get high off Pokemon cards, I don't know. But if you think of it that way, people get adjusted to really high prices. And then when it turns out a set's really not that good, or people really don't want something, or it's just overpriced and everyone just kind of stops at the same time, there can be this sort of lag to that for people who are buying a product where it's like the product's still really expensive, and this sort of price discovery where it's not really very good to open, not very good to hold, hasn't occurred. So the Pokemon set that could lose you the most money could be this one, Terra Festival and Prismatic Evolutions. It could happen all over again. Just depends on those prices. We started looking at the price of the singles, and we saw single prices going, they were just crashing like crazy. And as those prices came down, what was the point of opening this super overpriced product? So there's a bunch of product piled up, and you paid too much for it, and now you're trying to sell it. Nobody wants it, and you have to take a loss on it now. And that's kind of how it works. So people talk about us being in a bull market because there's some unusual activity where sets are going up in price right now. And this is getting everyone in a greed frenzy. And, it's usually before the greed frenzy that you need to have bought in. So if you bought into Pokemon cards before the greed frenzy, you're safe. It's at the end of the frenzy when people start buying junk, or it turns out Pokemon printed too much of it, that's when you find out you overpaid. So Prismatic Evolutions could be that. Will it be that? No. All right, let's see. There were whole time periods in 2023 and 2024 where we could barely sell Pokemon cards and had to survive on other TCGs, but these sets are still rising today. Right, so the funny thing is, Shiny Treasures are starting to sell again. It's been a while, and it's just getting expensive now. That's it. So even the sets that didn't perform very well for me, I just had to sit on them for a while. And now they're starting to move, so it's weird. You just have to be patient, basically. All right, kind of like Steam Siege, not a great investment. I mean, it obviously didn't go up as high as the other X, Y era sets, but it still went up. But, you want to make sure you pick the best set. What Pokemon made me the most money in 2024? Great question, and it will help you determine what to do in 2025. I sit on a chunk of cases of Evolving Skies, and they went to the moon, and they still are. We're seeing like record new prices on the Moonbryon. I don't own a Moonbryon, but I own plenty of Evolving Skies cases. So if he goes to the moon, they go to the moon. And yeah, they're still going. I shouldn't have sold any of it. I've sold a couple boxes of it here and there, and not too much, but I've still got a bunch of cases of it, and it is just bonkers how expensive. Every time I check, it's like up by like $100 per box. I'm like, what the is happening? I don't get it. Says here, also old sets from X and Y and old sets from Sun and Moon are still rising rapidly. I just checked Roaring Skies, and it's $1,100 per box. What's going on? It was like $500 a box just the other day. What happened? Well, earlier in, I think it was like, you could buy like $500, $600 boxes in 2024, and now it's $1,100. Oh my God. But it's finally hitting that threshold. If you followed my content for a long time, I've talked about this. There's like this price where the price goes sideways like this for the box, and people are buying it and opening it up, and then suddenly everyone kind of runs out of it. All the warehouses have emptied out, and then all of a sudden eBay prices do this. They just shoot up. So your job is to buy it about right here, right? I did the whole line. Boo, 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 boo. So you buy it right here, and then it shoots off. That's where you want to buy. Problem is you don't know where that line ends, right? You don't know where the big exponential increase is. So XY seems to be doing that right now. I just checked the price of like an Ancient Origins box. And it's like 1,900. Like, what happened? But and I'm sitting on several cases of that too. I had to buy a couple cases of it because it was like Lugia was in there, and you can't bet against Lugia. He's way too good. There's a bunch of stuff in there I like. I can't think of it. Groudon, Tyranitar, Darkrai in there. Who's all in there? The Evolutions are good reverse hollows in there. Oh, right. They've got the nice, what are they called? Ancient something cards? It's such a good set. All right, enough of that. Number 7, how did graded slabs do in 2024? Oh, wait, maybe I should finish this. So what Pokemon made me the most money? Effectively, oh yeah, I wasn't done. I'm sorry. What Pokemon made me the most money was not done. Are you ready? So those sets did well. Basically just buying sealed products of popular Pokemon did pretty well. But that's not my final answer. By the way, My Little Pony did pretty well. So the thing that did the very best for me were poker cards. I specialize in the poker cards. I bought up a huge chunk of them, a huge chunk of the sealed poker cards. I've just been grading them slowly and then selling them when they come back from grading, and they just flip like crazy. They look absolutely gorgeous. I have I think probably the best Charizard poker collection in the entire hobby. You're looking at the guy with the best Charizard collection. I should make a video on that sometime, but I think Mike's side did. He took a clip. Oh, did Mike's side do it, or I don't remember. But I just recently added another Charizard 10 to that collection. I don't even talk about it that much. But yeah, that collection's looking really good. Poker Pokemon is fantastic looking. And you got old sets like Top Sun. It looks way better than Top Sun. And it's from 1996. Good stuff. So Poker Pokemon is the top performing item for me. I've sold it the entire year. Will I be selling it and making money off of it in 2025? You bet your tits I'll be still selling those poker cards. In fact, I was learning how hard it is to get the Tyranitar poker card. There's one Tyranitar. He's hard to get. He looks so good too. Well, there's not one Tyranitar. There's a really cheap Tyranitar. Who cares about cheap Tyranitar? We want the expensive Tyranitar. All right. So poker cards. And so in 2025, if we were making a prediction on what sets will do the very best, let's see, did I already ask that? Yeah, if we were making a prediction on sets that will do the very best, I'll just say this. I like Terra Festival a lot. I haven't seen the Rocket set. I like the idea of it a lot. Prismatic looks insane. I might just put some aside and just cross my fingers that they don't print it. They're going to print it into the ground. But the demand could just be so overwhelming it might not matter. That's kind of what we saw with Evolving Skies, isn't it? So Evolving Skies, the demand was just so high it didn't matter. And then, so those two sets, Terrestrial Festival and Prismatic, are on my radar right now. Kind of the same way. I think everyone's doing that. I think that's why Prismatic is at this unbelievable price. I mean, I just bought 3 cases of it on the secondhand market just to make sure, because I'm worried that the ones I got at the better price are going to all be canceled, and the sellers will be like, ooh, we didn't have enough. Yeah, right. They're just deciding they want more money for it. So I bought 3 cases at today's price just to be safe. And it was so expensive. It's eye-watering expensive. I'm going to have to charge so much to be able to profit off of them. Because remember, I pay all the taxes and fees on eBay. Then I got to pay like eBay fees when I sell it, and I still got to make a little bit of money on it. It's crazy, dude. It's just gonna have to be unbelievably expensive. I'm scared to sell it because when I sell it, my audience is gonna go, oh, this guy's a scammer. He's a ripoff artist. I don't know. I don't feel bad selling the cheaper packs and getting the same exact profit margin on that. Nobody asks a question about that. But when it's the set everyone wants, they start scrutinizing much harder. So that's just how it goes. But I'll try to do whatever I can to keep everyone happy. I think probably what I'll do is I'll examine what all the other rip and shippers are doing because they're faced with the same problem. They definitely don't have enough. It's impossible. They'll keep reprinting that. Poker cards. I'll be spending more money on poker cards in 2025, and I'll be probably anticipating stocking up on the rocket set. If the rocket set's done tastefully, that's it for me. I'm just going to buy a ton of rocket. I'll stop everything else. I mean, I'm not even buying that much of the poker right now because poker prices are so expensive now. I've personally pushed the price on poker cards very high. I've done it all by myself, but other people contribute too, people who are copying me a little bit. Number 7, how did graded slabs do in 2024? Slabs are doing very well. You will see wild price swings in slabs. The prices on graded cards and sealed boxes is a married price. So I say this all the time to my audience because I don't know who's done this to them. I don't know who hurt them, but somebody has convinced them that all that matters is buying sealed Pokemon product like cases and putting that in your closet. That's the only thing that matters. And the slabs don't matter, you know. But it's like, look at the leading card from Sword and Shield. It's the Evolution Moonbreon, right? Well, if he just reached a valuation of 2.8 thousand, you could have just bought that and it just went up. But it's not just it's not just Moonbreon we see that with. It's virtually everything. Anything that's an alt-art, anything that looks really good, it just went up. It just goes up. And the idea that the slabs will not go up in price and the booster boxes will, that's just crazy. Why would, you know, if you're somebody who wants to buy a Pokemon card because you like Umbreon and you're looking at Evolving Skies, and the price of the Evolving Skies Umbreon remained 1,000, but the booster box has gone up to 1,000. Why would you ever buy the booster box? It doesn't make any sense. So the prices are married. They're joint. They're connected at the hip. When the price of the slab goes up, the box goes up. When the box goes up, the slab goes up because people who want to go buy a booster box of that set, when they see the slabs way too cheap, they go, well, maybe I just go buy an already opened one. That's what happens. So slabs and boxes, they're connected. And you got to stop thinking like they're not, because I don't understand why people make that mistake. But you could have stocked up on 20 Moonbreons and done very well. All right, and by the way, I was one of the guys who thought that Moonbreon, there was too many of them. I thought there were too many of them. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible for him to do what I've seen vintage Pokemon cards. I've seen vintage Pokemon cards go up like that. I didn't think it was possible for modern cards to do that because there's just too many of them. I figured there'll be too many people selling it, but everyone wants to hold it. But that one scares me. I don't own a Moonbreon. I don't own one. I could have bought one a long time ago. I could buy one today. Still don't want to buy one. I don't have to. I've got the Evolving Skies booster boxes, so I've already got a chunk of Evolving Skies in my pocket. And my money will start going toward Terra Festival for now because I like Terra Festival. It's got a Moonbreon in it too. It's called Crownbreon. So yeah, I don't know. That one's it's an anomaly, man. It just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And people just underestimate how much money is in this hobby because there are people who just love collecting. I think that's one of the things people get wrong about Pokemon. I think there's a lot of detractors who think Pokemon cards are just a big bubble of investors selling to investors, right? Just people, greed monsters selling store to store, you know, but eventually that card has to end up with the customer, right? Like I sell to customers. I don't just sell to another business. I sell to customers, and I've never run out of customers. There's just plenty of people. Even, you know, there's a lot more competition on YouTube now. You got all these Whatnot and Drip, or if that's what it's called, and TikTok Shop and all this crazy stuff. There's just so many people rip and shipping these days, like 1 million people. And despite that, we still get a great community at our rip and ship. It's fantastic. Sales, this is interesting for our channel. Sales have remained very steady for us from the last year. They're not as crazy as they were in 2021, 2022, maybe even a little bit of 2023. No, 2023 is when it slowed down. So 2021, 2022 was really crazy for me. 2023 it started to slow down. 2024 has been about as good as 2023. So, but it says our sales are basically the same, and we haven't picked up many new customers according to my data. It's returning customers. So it's really fascinating stuff. And yeah, so I think what that tells me is that there's just so many people doing exactly this, selling cards, that you're at sort of like this saturation point where it's just man, you could turn any corner and you'll find another guy doing what I'm doing at this point. It wasn't like that when I started, but man, but we have a really special thing going on. I think is the consistency. I've done this for 6 years now, and the consistency I think is an important thing. It's hard to find somebody like me who's done it for so long now. And we got our cool little fossil box break, so we'll be doing that. All right. So anyways, how did graded slabs do was the question before I started rambling. I told you I ramble. And my answer was sealed boxes and slab prices are married. And so if the box did well, the slab will do well. So you can just go buy your favorite card. That's one of the least gambly ways to enter this Pokemon card market. Instead of opening packs, just go buy the slab of the thing you want. And but people like to open packs. They like RNG. All right, number 8. Will vintage packs exist in 2025? All right, here's my prediction for... I guess number 7, the point of number 7 is don't be afraid to buy a slab in 2025. Don't be afraid. Just go buy one. Number 8. Will vintage packs exist in 2025? My answer, no. Vintage packs will not exist in 2025. They're all going to be opened or CT scanned or now metal detected. So there will be no vintage packs in 2025. The CT scanned ones and I guess the metal detected ones, those are effectively, they're like resealed packs, aren't they? So increasingly, as the months go by and the years go by and the price of the packs go up, more and more of these vintage packs will already have been CT scanned. And should I do that to mine? I don't know. I've got like a collection of loose packs. Maybe maybe I should go have all of mine scanned. Is that what you do now? Is that the thing? Or do we just open them and just take the loss when it's a bad pack? I don't know. Because if you could scan all my packs and we could just know what's in them, then we would just do a break on the good ones. I don't know. How do you determine like if it's a good pack with like a good card in it? I'm going to sell, like, let's say, let me give you a Neo 4, right? Neo 4 Japanese. From Light to Darkness. We scan that and Shining Charizard's inside the pack. Well, if that's what happens, then I'm just going to break the pack at the valuation of a Charizard. I'm not going to sell it at the regular pack price. That'd be stupid as hell. And then let's say we CT scan it and it's just got like, I don't know, Houndoom in it. Well, then that pack's not very valuable at all. So maybe that pack should be sent off to grade and just get authenticated by PSA essentially. I don't know. It's really hard to say, but will vintage packs exist in 2025? No, they won't, because people are still opening these vintage packs at a pretty fast pace from what I've seen. And we just finished a box of Hidden Legends. It took us like less than a month to open a whole box of Hidden Legends. It's all going to be gone, guys. I swear to God. It's either going to be gone or it's going to be at unbelievable prices that will make you go, I would be so stupid if I opened this at this point. But I don't know. Vintage packs are going to reach this new price ceiling. You'll see the slabs get purchased up and the box prices get pushed up, but there's just going to be this point where there's just no more. Like Rocket Returns is a perfect example. One of my favorite sets, Rocket Returns. You'd never see the box for sale. Sometimes you see a box for sale. It's pretty rare. And then the booster pack prices are just like, what is even going on right now? It makes no sense. Who's buying it? Is anyone opening it? So we're done opening up Rocket Return packs for maybe the rest of time. If you want to open one, go spend $800, $700 opening up a pack and getting like a reverse holo that's maybe worth $20. It doesn't make any sense. So buy the vintage packs. They're by the end of 2025, a whole nother year will go by, and all of us rip and shippers, Pokemon card shops, all of us rip and shippers will have eaten through, I don't know how many thousands of vintage packs will be eaten in one more year, 2025. Okay, number 9. Can I become a millionaire buying Pokemon cards? Yes. Yes. I wrote down, if you've been buying since 2019 and held and didn't sell anything, you might be a millionaire now. Okay? It's really that crazy. 2019, like Cosmic Eclipse, it's like $1,000 booster box now. If you were just buying Cosmic Eclipse boxes back then for like $120, and they're $900 now. If you were just buying boxes of Evolving Skies for $140, and they're like heading toward $1,000 now. If you just bought Roaring Skies boxes for $400 a box, well, you could get them cheaper actually than that. So $375, $350. If you were doing that back in 2019, and today they're like $1,100, you might be a Pokemon millionaire. All you had to do was just buy. You didn't need to buy even one stock in the stock market. You didn't need to buy any gold. You could have bought Bitcoin. Bitcoin did pretty good. But we're talking about this year, 2025. Can that still work? I think it will still work. The fundamentals are still there. Social media loves watching cards get opened. It's very fun. Social media loves seeing your beautiful slabs and loves seeing your best pulls. Still makes you a lot of money, a lot of ad revenue. And people have a biological need to collect stuff. It's resource hoarding. That's what it is. It's some kind of, like you got a hungry tummy for stuff. I can't explain it. That is not about to change. Think about, one of my concepts is that collectibles is in its infancy. So people, they look at this and they're like, this isn't a bubble, right? Like this can't keep going on. And I'm like on the far opposite of that. I was like, oh, you got no idea. This is the start of it. It's not even close to the end. This bubble's not about to pop tomorrow. This is the beginning of it, And then you see stuff like this Moonbryon reaching 2,800, and it's like, it's just more evidence how crazy it actually is out there, because there's just so much money out there. And people keep earning more money every year. You're productive, you buy stuff, and then they go, I don't want to buy stocks, I want to buy Pokemon. A bunch of old guys own the stocks already. The price on the stocks are way up here. Pokemon cards are down here. Logan Paul is going to buy my box in 20 years. Whatever it is. But yeah, Pokemon, my very first question was, when will the bull market end? And my answer was never. Gambling on kids' toys is the most powerful product in the world. But there's a little bit of wisdom in that. So it's like, if you think that I'm just some sort of like degenerate gambler myself, I don't gamble that much. I've never had a gambling addiction. I don't go to the casinos or any of that stuff. I never have trouble saying no to opening packs. I don't even like opening packs. So the most gambling I do is trying to predict where a market heads. That's the most gambly aspect of myself. So, the question, can I become a millionaire buying Pokemon cards? Let me ask you a question. Could you become a millionaire buying a casino and owning that? You could. When you buy a booster box of cards, that is a one-time use slot machine. That's what it is. And then it's got a finite use as well, because they don't continue to print them. They print new sets, but they don't print that one over and over again. So yeah, you could become a millionaire. You might already be a millionaire if you were somebody with a good income, maybe like $100,000 a year, and you just pumped all that into Pokemon cards and nothing but Pokemon cards since 2019. You're probably a millionaire already. All you have to do is liquidate through maybe conscription or consignment or just eBay it. By the way, don't have someone else sell you cards. Just learn how to sell it on eBay. I'm just telling you this as your friend. Learn how eBay works, build up an eBay reputation, and just sell all your stuff on eBay. eBay will take 13%. Actually, if you do it the best way to sell stuff is like on Instagram or YouTube or Twitch. Not even Whatnot. I recently learned Whatnot's an 11% fee. What the? I feel bad for all the Whatnot guys. I feel like, you hear about these Whatnot scams all the time. I feel like the workers on Whatnot are scammed. The people selling on Whatnot are the ones who get scammed the most, because Whatnot's taken how much from you? Like 11%. Oh man, I can't even imagine if I missed out on 11% of my profit margin for 6 years. I wouldn't be where I am today if I paid 11%. I hear it's 8%, right? And then there's like 3% processing fees. And okay, so maybe it's more like 8%. But I don't get all my payments on PayPal. PayPal's a 3% processing fee. I get plenty of payments on other processing. Zelle, for example, a lot of sales come through Zelle, and Zelle has been zero processing fees. So, it's kind of, it's just hard to hear, man. They got to pay 8%. And then eBay's 13%. eBay's the worst, dude, but they're very good. eBay's powerful. Like I've sold a couple slabs on eBay this month because you list it and then you just walk away from it and then it's sold. So eBay is very powerful. It's like the final frontier. You're definitely going to sell it if you post it on eBay. By the way, here's some advice for that. Take your card, research the cheapest buy now for that card, and then sell yours for $1 cheaper than the cheapest buy now, okay? Make sure your keywords look good, make sure your picture looks good, blah, blah, blah. But that's it for pricing. Look at the cheapest buy now, go $1 underneath that, and then if your opponent lowers his, you gotta lower yours again. So you just keep updating the prices. That's it. When yours is the $1 cheapest, it gets all the attention. You could do auction. Auction, I think, works for some slabs, kind of like Charizard and Umbreon and Gengar and Lugia. People watch those constantly. Let's say you're selling like top Sudowoodo or something. I don't know. I'm just coming up with something. Top Sudowoodo. I wouldn't list that in auction because it's too rare. No one's searching for top Sudowoodo. No one's searching for that. Don't list that in auction. It's just not a good move. And then also slabs that are exceptionally expensive. Sometimes you just got to sell because you want to sell. Maybe you have an emergency. I don't know. Maybe you're bored. But man, when you put those high-end slabs in auction, the problem is you got to have some rich guys who just have a lot of cash in their pocket who are just ready to bid it up. And you got to have two of those rich guys, and they got to be in a mood to bid it up. So yeah, I mean that's very risky. That probably is, if you put some $200 slab in the auction, it goes for 150. Who cares? But if you put a $20,000 slab in auction, it goes for 15,000. You just lost 5,000. It's kind of a big deal. So I don't understand those guys. Those guys are crazy. Anyways, those are my thoughts. That's a little aside for my thoughts about FeeBay. But yeah, the best way to sell your cards, of course, is with the zero fees. So if you can sell on YouTube, if you can sell on Twitch, if you can sell on Instagram, you can use your Instagram to advertise what you have for sale, okay? Just tell people what you got and build that Instagram account up so that people know that you exist. And if you have an eBay account, make sure your eBay account matches the Instagram account. Exact same name on eBay, exact same name on Instagram, exact same name on YouTube, just put all the names the same, okay? So Instagram, very powerful way to sell your cards with no fees. Okay, can I become a millionaire buying Pokemon cards in 2025? The answer is yes. Buy, hold, hold. A lot of people, let's say you buy some Pokemon card boxes. All right, this is going to go to the moon. And then it falls. People in Pokemon make the same classic mistake people make in every asset class. When it falls, they get cold feet and then they sell, right? Like if you bought the S&P 500, the S&P 500 does this. It goes, whee! And you basically have to not look at it, because if you look at it and you see it crashing by like 10% one day, you want to sell because you're like, all right, oh, well, there's a million reasons why I should get out of this market. Russia's going to nuke us any minute now. I should just pull my money out. Everything's going to the trash can. Everything's going to the floor. Got to stay in. You just got to. Buy it, leave it alone for 20 years. That's the number one trick. My big slab collection works just like that. I buy it, and it sits there. Sometimes I sell it. I sell it very slow. I sell it strategically. I sell it when I feel like I can reobtain it, is one of my secrets. So if I feel it can be reobtained, I go, okay, this can be sold. But yeah, it's just buy it and you hold it. You buy it and you hold it. You buy it and you hold it. And you don't, whatever you, for the love of God, do not sell it. No matter what it is you want to buy, a new home, a new car, a new baby mama, whatever it is, you don't sell. All right, maybe you want to buy butt implants so you got a nice fat ass. Here's number 10. How do I know what slab to buy in 2025? You should always buy whatever slabs perform best on social media. You can also buy sealed product associated with that slab. So my thinking is always not with like the booster box, but with the graded PSA 10, BGS 10, whatever. So I think what's the best cards in that set going to do on social media? And if they do very well, if they get really good metrics, that is the indicator to go ahead and you can buy that chase card and just hold it and show it off. And then you can put some of that sealed product in your closet too. A little bit of both if you wish. But again, that's all it comes down to. It's very straightforward. Social media metrics mean everything to me. It's such a good predictor for price. Like if you look at something and you're going, oh, that's such a cool card and it's rare and it's cool. All right, how does it do on social media? It does bad. Forget about it, right? But so now you know a little more about Mr. Card Economist and his Pokemon card secrets and his predictions for 2025. So, if that's a prediction, what slab do I buy in 2025? My bet is that the Crown Moonbryon, the Crown Bryon, Dimension is very late. The Crown Bryon, my prediction, is going to do very well. And that's not a genius prediction, but it could become overpriced. Remember my warning about the shining treasures. It could become overpriced, and you could be buying it at the ceiling when it's already as high priced as possible. And then instead of going to the moon, it just kind of goes sideways for a really long time and you don't make any money. So that's all part of the complex decision making. But for me personally, I will be picking up one of those Crown Umbreons eventually. And then for the sealed product, I will definitely be holding on to some sealed product of that, at least to speculate on the market. But in the end, it all comes down to how much Pokemon prints. They have the final say in how valuable your card is. Pokemon actually decides, not you. It's not like buying Coca-Cola stock and then some guy puts soda on the shelf and you and I drink soda and get kidney or liver cancer or whatever it is. And then Coca-Cola announces profits from having sold us poison, and then voila, the shareholders make money. It's not like that. With Pokemon, you buy it, you think everyone likes it, you like it, you hold it. It kind of does this, and you get scared every time it dips down for a while. It's been down for a whole year. I should sell now. But ultimately, Pokemon decides how valuable the card is based on how much they print it. If a card becomes rare, I guarantee you that it'll start going up in price no matter what. Maybe not for like I don't know, like Nose Pass or something like that. Like Nose Pass can be rare and it doesn't matter, but Umbreon, it matters a lot. So we're really talking about the amount of Umbreons that are printed. And when you look at how well Moonbreon's done, everyone's going to be making the same prediction that, well, Moonbreon went up, Crownbreon's going to go up. And then you and I, Pokemon insiders, are going to get rich. Okay. Was that fun, guys? Do you like the long-form content? I hope you enjoyed it. We did hit 40 minutes. That's a bit longer than I wanted to go, but we always go too long. When I have a short stream, I have more chances to make content like this. But that's my 2025 predictions. It's all good. It's green lights, basically. It's all good. That was my predictions for 2024, to be honest. My predictions for 2023. You know, I was feeling a lot more negative about Pokemon because of the changes with Scarlet Violet, had gray borders, and, you know, I didn't think the legendaries were very good from that set. And they were just putting out weak set after weak set. And I was like, Pokemon's crashing and dying. But I never stopped buying. I never. All the time. If you follow me, if you watch my live streams, and you just listen to me, I can say as many negative things as I want about Pokemon, and then the next day I bought like $1,000 more of Pokemon. Like, I love Dusclops, right? I got a bunch of Dusclops here. I like Dusclops. So what did I do recently? If you go check eBay, I bought all the Dusclops. That was me. I bought all of them. I bought all the Sandstorm Dusclopses. So I just bought them all. I was like, I like them. And that's it. So you see that? Oh, I bought, oh, it's not over here anymore. I bought all of the Rocket Returns Cubones one day. I just looked at it and I said, I feel like those Cubones could be worth 600, and I love Cubone. So I just went and bought them all. I think there was like 3 of them on the market, and they were around $400 each. I just bought them one day. And that'll continue. That behavior will continue. Same with like, oh, I like Poker Charizard a lot. I'm just going to keep buying them. So it doesn't matter if I think Pokemon cards are good or bad. I just buy Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are doing bad. All right. Oh, they're cheap then. Pokemon cards are doing good. Oh, well, Pokemon cards must be a good investment. Buy some more of them. So, you know, you'll get the same message from me all the time. But yeah, probably the most important indicator of all is how much ad revenue Pokemon cards are bringing in for the people who run Pokemon card shops and channels and all this other stuff. If the views are good, the product is good. But we don't need to be told all this kind of stuff. Look at the baseball card hobby. Look at the football and basketball. Why do I have a cough? Well, look at all these hobbies, right? They've been around for multiple generations. Their cards sell for 40, 50, 60,000, 100,000, 250,000. Pokemon card is still taking baby steps. It's still going goo goo gaga. You know, all the people who played Pokemon over the years have not hit the ripe age of missing your hair at 35 with the little that going on over there. So there's so many people that haven't hit that age yet that are going to hit that age. But even all the way down into Scarlet Violet, which has been a phenomenally, is that a word? Phenomenally? That sounds like a word twister. You know, Scarlet Violet, the sales figures suggest it did exceptionally well. Exceptionally well. It sold so much. And so, you know, all the kids, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, who just played Scarlet Violet, they're going to be 35 too. But you and I, greed monsters, we can go buy all the Scarlet Violet cards ahead of time. And then when the kids turn 35, they'll be like, why are all these cards so expensive? Why do they cost so much? Because you and I bought them first. Oh, we're crazy. All right, that was fun, guys. I'll talk to you later.